So I'm DJ Lady D. I'm known for blistering sets of house music, sprinkled with touches of disco, techno, and funk and soul. I started DJing in 1995. I was influenced early on by Psycho Bitch and Terry Bristol. They were my mentors. They told me what I should charge, what clubs to go and play at, who would be open and receptive to someone with my certain skills, and they pretty much showed me the ropes about the industry. My first memory of house music goes back to high school. As a freshman at Whitney Young, we used to have parties after school. We called them sock hops. And for a couple of hours, we'd all get together in the gym and dance. And people like the Hot Mix 5 and Farley and Steve Hurley and Frankie Knuckles would come and DJ in our gym. So I was introduced to house music from the very beginning. I'm really passionate about DJing because I see how it elevates people, how it changes mood, and how it connects energy from one person to the next. And when you can bring people together in one place and have them all feel and experience the same thing, it's really powerful. So you can do a lot of positive things with that. And that's why I really am connected to house music for what it does for people. As an artist, I actually have to connect to the music before I can present it to others. So I won't play anything that I don't feel is really positive or has some sort of redeeming qualities to it. It's important for me to feel what I'm playing so that I can transmit that energy to somebody else. So I can present a producer's idea in a way that I think is true to the message that the producer is trying to convey. And if I am not connected to that music as an artist, I can't present it. And so sometimes I don't play things that are maybe popular, but everything that you hear in a set from me will be something that I genuinely and authentically connect with. Part of my process in preparing for a set is to really get to know the music that I'm going to be presenting. And I like to just play it, just let it play. So I will go shopping online and pull all the music that I want and what I'm feeling and have a theme or an idea in mind. I start with one song and kind of branch from there. And then I just play that music over and over while I'm in the shower or while I'm doing the dishes, and just get totally familiar and acquainted with the songs. And then I work on them. So then I play them in different orders. I just play them. Sometimes I'll just play for 2 or 3 hours, trying this song together with another song or with another song. I use Rekordbox by Pioneer to create my crates and my playlists. And when I'm in front of an audience, a lot of times it is a spontaneous event, but I'm so familiar with the music that it makes it fun for me, and you know, it's a fun experience to present that music for the first time. It's sort of improvisational, but at the same time, it's still a lot of preparation that goes behind it. I like to be able to bounce off the energy of a crowd, so I don't prepare my sets like from one track to the, to the end, knowing what that set will be. I like to veer off course. I like to be irreverent. I like to live dangerously. So it's really important for me to have that ability to be spontaneous. But you best believe I know everything that I'm playing. I know all those songs. Yeah, I think that music has the ability to really transport you to another time. So in the course of presenting music, it's important sometimes to go back and dig deep and get into the history and the roots of something. While at the same time, if it's not sonically viable to include that in a set with other new music that's using newer technology and sonically it just sounds not as good, you have to consider that when deciding whether or not you're going to present a particular song in a historical context. Because there's so many remakes and remixes that are done really well, you can come across the same energy in a remix that you would in the original, and sometimes it's best to present that because sonically it's just going to sound better. Sound is really important. It's the transmitter of that energy, not just the words and the other things that you hear, but it is about volume and amplification and frequency and resonance. So all of those things go together. And if one of them is out of whack, sometimes when music was made earlier in our history in house music, it was lo-fi. And for me, it's harder to present a lo-fi song along with something new. But if you find a way to marry it to something that is, very current, maybe layer a track that's older, not as good sonic quality, over an instrumental or a beat track that has great sonic quality for today's music, then you can find a way to kind of make it work. I do think it's important to pay homage to the origins. You have to do your homework, especially if you're new at DJing. Next year, we'll be celebrating my 25th year of being a DJ. So 25 years, I've learned a thing or two, but I'm still learning. So it's always exciting. It's always exciting. Challenges. I guess DJing itself has changed so much over the years. I started with vinyl. I was running through airports with 80 pounds of vinyl on my back. Then that switched to CDs, and I thought that was lighter, but it was still heavy. Now I carry, thumb drives, flash drives, and it's the most liberating I've felt in my entire career. But I think that there are still challenges. Obviously, technology keeps changing, and the will to want to adapt to it decreases over time. But I have always been an early adopter, so I do see it as a challenge only in the sense that when it comes to newer energy and newer people, sometimes they don't want to acknowledge where the past has gotten us to today. So I just like for people to do their homework, and it's a challenge sometimes working with others who haven't put in the time, energy, effort to understand what's really going on. Today I'm really excited about the fact that there are so many community activations around house music. And what I mean by that is that people are finding ways to activate their communities through house music. So whether it be gender organizations or racial organizations or ethnic organizations, people are finding ways to tell stories, come together, commit to activism through house music. And house music is a music that was born out of a youth movement that had a lot to do with letting other voices be heard and telling stories that other people said, we don't have a place for you. So that was born, like people got together because they were like, hey, we want to have communion with one another, and we want to be able to dance and share this feeling. So when people tell you you can't do something, naturally people are going to find a way to form a coalition and do it. And I love that it's become an activation or activist way to bring people together. So that's the one thing that I really do admire about what's happening to today. Groups like Tropiteca and the group that La Spacer and Coochie Fruit have, and Peach, and some of the other organizations, the Slow-Mo parties. These are all groups that are founded around people who want to have communion in their community, and house music is a great way to do that. It's a great unifier. I'm not addicted to anything. Although people might, yeah, I would say that my motto has always been moderation is sexy. So I don't go in for any addictions. Do I like anybody in particular right now? You know what? Yeah. I'm discovering a lot of new music, and I'm finding a lot of younger talent that is emerging. I like Sun Boulevard. She's really cute and has some great songs that range from rap to house, and I really like her. Who else is doing it for me? I don't know, I find a lot of new music online and connect with those producers because I like to play things that nobody else is playing. So the only project that I really have coming up is trying to put together some sort of compilation along with an EP that helps me celebrate the 25 years of being a house music DJ. And I've already enlisted some people to help me do that. I'll be working again with Ron Carroll. I'm working with a wonderful woman producer from Mexico City, Mirel Novron. And right now, those are the two people that I most wanted to work with. And we'll see who else gets to be a part of the mix as time goes on. But I'm planning a tour and to release a compilation for my record label, Delectable Music, and go on tour and just promote the fact that, you know, here I am 25 years later. It's not easy, but I did it. Ah, ow, as Cardi might say. What can fans expect to see from me at the upcoming My House Music Fest? Well, yeah, so provided it's not scorching hot like it was last year, but let's say it is. Well, we're gonna see some faces melting. We're gonna see some major sweat, that's all. So I really do try to keep my calendar organized and available, and you'll have to check djladyDchicago.com to find out where I'll be next. On social media, you can find me at djladyd, at djladyd, on Insta, on Twitter, and at djladyDchicago on Facebook. Well, so like I was kind of alluding to before, like I went from vinyl to CD to flash drives. I think it's made it easier for me in terms of being able to store so much music in a smaller piece of technology to really become more a versatile player. So with vinyl, I was really collecting a lot of house music, right? And then, you know, my other little collection, maybe some jazz, maybe some, you know, something niche-wise, but my, you know, I built my reputation on playing just house. Now I play a lot more corporate events. I've moved from Wicker Park to the South Loop. So corporate events is more money. I play a lot of brand and influencer events and activations. That's more money. So it's just like for musicians and artists who maybe you're a band, you're touring, you're in a bus, then you get signed and then you get to, you know, maybe take planes to different places. Like, so that grind, that hustle over time, it's allowed my reputation to grow. It's allowed my, you know, bank account to grow. I don't tour the way I used to, but I don't even have an agent anymore, and I'm still able to get gigs, and I don't solicit up, you know, on my behalf. Like, people find me, and that's all based on reputation. So I've seen that you can have a career in the arts, and you can be a working artist, you can be a working professional. I've added other things into the mix, like I'm an advisor at Columbia College, and I work with students who want to have a career in the arts. So I work with all the performance majors, all the theater, dance, music, fashion, everything that I've ever done as a DJ and had my hand in a pot of, like merchandising or, you know, business and entrepreneurship, marketing, media, all of those things that I've been able to experience as a DJ. I'm now able to take my experiences and help others, you know, along their path and help them uncover their passion, but also tell them, the ropes of, how to go about it. So it's kind of cool that I've been able to parlay my success as a DJ and a working professional in Chicago's creative community into something that helps, bring up the newer generation of people who are also trying to do that. So I like that. I'm like that. I'm able to reach back and be like, hey, this is how you do it. This is how you form these networks. This is how you build these relationships. This is how you work on your branding and your image. And so I feel really, really good about that I can do that. And so, yeah, and my area code has changed. My zip code has changed. But, I think that should happen for people over time. You shouldn't have to stay a struggling artist. At some point, you should be able to leverage what you've done to elevate, yourself and pull others up with you. Yeah. So I actually use, like at home, just to rehearse. I'm on a all-in-one Pioneer. I like the DDJ-RX2, and I use, when I create my mixes, I just record directly into the recording feature on that. I upload my mixes to Audacity. I use free programs, and I teach students how to use free programs because I don't want there to be a barrier to entry. And so when I learned how to do that, I learned how to teach others how to use it, and you don't have to pay any money to do that, right? So, so Audacity, I learned how to use, like, I'm a whiz at Audacity, like all the effects and, changing tempos and just anything you would need to do to finish and create a piece of music, I can do in Audacity and using the plugins that they provide for free. And so I do workshops on that. I teach young girls how to DJ at the Girls Rock Chicago organization, and they do 2 summer camps a year. And so I just developed a curriculum for them, and teaching really self-confidence and self-esteem through musicality. Yeah. Well, I'll go back to my motto, right? Moderation is sexy. And I came up with that really because I saw so many people that were my peers that fell off because of addiction, because of getting too deeply involved and in the drugs and in the scene and in the nightlife, and there has to be balance. So you have to take care of yourself. That health and wellness piece is so important. And so I always say, if you want to maintain your sexy, moderation is the way to do it. Like, have some fun, but not too much fun. Commit yourself to your craft, but not to the extent that you forget other important personal relationships. It's not all about any one thing. And so by maintaining that balance, I think, I would advise anybody that's getting in to not take it so seriously, like find ways to keep yourself grounded.
You are the one who matters. You are the point of focus. You just are. Tonight, yes, this night, in this club, you are the one.
Yeah.
There ain't nobody like you, baby.
Yeah.
So come with us as we take you a little deeper.
Yeah.
Lift you a little higher. All at the same time.